Hi everyone, this is Dr. David Serio with Dr. Stephen Tullius, and we are here talking about the Chiropractic Freedom Coalition. Steve, thank you for being here. Just tell us about the Chiropractic Freedom Coalition, what it is, why people should be involved, and where we're going.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dr. David. So, the Chiropractic Freedom Coalition is a movement, right? First and foremost, I want that to be super crystal clear. It's not another organization. It's a movement of organizations. It's a movement of leaders, practitioners, students from all over the profession, not just the U.S., but internationally. Like you're not in the United States, David. Your team, you have all, I mean, how many team members do you have in different countries that are all part
No
of the
one's from
coalition?
the US. No one's from the US on my team.
Yeah, exactly. Why is there this Chiropractic Freedom Coalition? Well, the name implies that if we're calling it the Freedom Coalition, then there must not be freedom, right? And that's ultimately the case, right? There is no freedom in chiropractic education and licensure in not only the United States, but other areas. And we know that what happens in the United States, because this is where chiropractic is the largest and where it was founded, that then impacts the rest of the world. And so, way back in 1971, the CCE, the Council on Chiropractic Education, became recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. Now, I think it's important that everyone understands the history there because at the time, the CCE was created by the ACA, right, and the ICA had a competing accrediting body. And they both wanted to get it recognized by the U.S. Department of Education because that's how we get student loan money, right? It all goes back to money, right? What happened, the U.S. Department of Education didn't want to have two accrediting bodies. So they said, you guys need to work this out amongst yourselves. And the two groups had a binding arbitration to do so. The ACA went behind their back, submitted the application, and it was approved by the U.S. Department of Education, right? So that's how this all happened. They wrestled control of the educational system. At that time, the subluxation focused schools represented 75% of the students, right? ACA's model schools only represented 25%. And so what happened is they started their war of attrition, right? They started a process of filtering out subluxation focused chiropractic by forcing the schools, if they want to be accredited, which means if you want to get student loan money, then you have to play by our rules. And they did that for a super long time. There was a culture of fear. There's accreditation being removed, even in the 2000s with Life University, that got reversed, fortunately. They almost took down that school. Now, that was only one branch of this cartel. The second piece was the FCLB, Foundation for Chiropractic Licensing Boards, which then got together and they started to put out to all the states to get CCE only language into the state law, right? So that way, CCE is specifically named. You have to attend a CCE accredited college in order to be licensed, right? So now it's further ingrained now into the legal system. And then they also added NBCE, National Board of Chiropractic Examiners. So now not only do you have to attend a CCE school, but now you also have to have taken this NBCE testing, right? So this is how they have controlled the educational and licensing system in the United States. And it's now the subluxation focused schools, represent, maybe 25%. That's getting worse and worse. I just was hearing from a Palmer College of Chiropractic student yesterday that his peers, very few of them even can define a subluxation. There's very little value attached to it. And this is from, the former Fountainhead. So, so what we're doing, what are we doing to change this? Well, it's very clear. We have to remove those chains, right? And we do that by getting a second accrediting body recognized by the U.S. Department of Education, which is IACE. David, you're on the board of IACE. And maybe you can talk about that in just a little bit. But IACE, for those that don't know, has been around for over 20 years doing international accrediting. They have accredited Sherman College of Chiropractic, which starts the clock in the United States. So because you have to get accredited, are recognized by the United States Department of Education, you have to have been doing accreditation work for at least 2 years in the country, right? So that clock is ticking. Sherman right now is the only college that has actually moved forward with that. So any of you out there listening that is involved with Life West, Life University, others, Cleveland, other schools that still claim to be subluxation focused, we really should be asking, why are these schools not getting on board, right? Why are they not seeking out this important accreditation? Because IACE is the only one that's saying that this school specifically is competent in the detection and correction of subluxation. That's not included in the CCE metacompetencies, right? And so why wouldn't these other schools at least have dual accreditation? Because there's no reason not to. So why wouldn't they do that? That's an interesting question. I'll let other people answer that. So we have this. So that's one part. We have to get that. Now that also means we have to remove the CCE and NBC only language state by state. That way we can have true freedom in chiropractic education. And shouldn't we as a profession want that? Have a true academic process, not one that's been censored for so long. So that's what the coalition represents. We have multiple teams. We have team leaders across all 6 of these teams. It's not an organization. It's anyone can lead it. So like we had a question the other day, like, oh well, who's behind it? Like this is so and so's thing. It's like this is for everyone. This is for anyone who believes in these principles. That vertebral subluxation is a massive issue for humanity. That the chiropractic profession should remain drugless too. That's another one of our core values. We already work to fight a drug bill in Montana, and that successfully got squashed. There's one in Florida where we're actively working. I can tell you, based upon my 20 years in chiropractic politics, that we've never been more organized than this. We haven't ever been this organized. Now we have all these people coming together, IFCO, DE, all these technique systems. We have over 60 organizations that have signed on to our resolution. So I'm super excited about it. And what we need most next, David, is the support of all those people listening.
Hey, Steve, that was amazing. So here's the thing. It's incredible I want to just give one piece of what he talked about that blew my mind just now. We're talking in the 70s, 75% of this profession was subluxation based. Now it's maybe 25%, maybe in the school system. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Simon the other day. The removal of the word subluxation is about in 90% of the schools now. So it's getting less and less. I mean, it's obvious where this is going. And there's no, oh, someone else will do it. I'll wait 10 years to do it. This is urgent, more urgent than ever before. As Steve said, drug bills they're looked at and they're trying to be pushed into these states right now. That never happened 10 years ago, so and they're not going to stop. This is only going to keep getting more and more unless we start to shift and have more freedom. And if you're listening from outside of the United States right now and you think this isn't coming to you, they already have a plan to have an accrediting agency around the world right now. It's already in place. It's already happening. So if you're listening in Europe or South America or any other place, just know that if you're not involved now and take proactiveness on this, well, then you're going to be defensive and behind the 8 ball there. And no one wants that. That's not the place to be.
Yeah, the marginalization of subluxation centered vitalistic chiropractic has been outlined, right? There's papers on it that are written and published. Most people haven't read those papers. Those people who write those papers are either in leadership positions or in research positions in the WFC, World Federation of Chiropractic. And then all these people have their hands in multiple organizations, and the conflicts of interest, which are ridiculous, right? We have an NBCE president who is also he was the FCLB president until just a short time ago, and the NBCE gives the FCLB the vast amount of money, $800,000 in 2023, right? 70% of their operating budget comes from the NBCE. So the NBCE pays the FCLB, who then the SLB then just goes out and into their states and says, okay, guys, NBCE said we're going to centralize Part 4. We're going to every student is going to have to come to Greeley, Colorado, and worship at our $20 million facility to get licensed in every state. You guys good with it? Cool. Here's $800,000. You guys go into your states and make sure this passes. Oh, don't have any open comment period in your state. Don't seek input from the profession. This is what's going to happen, right? That's the reality of what's going on right now, and it has to stop, right? This is no longer acceptable. And the saddest part about this is what some of you might be hearing out there. The saddest part about this is that you're going to hear from people who don't attack the coalition's principles and don't attack the coalition's strategy. They will talk about people, right? And they'll try to utilize the emotional damage that our profession has experienced with all this infighting, right? Because the rank and file chiropractor out there, they don't like to see all this fighting. They just want to serve and love and do all these things. Yeah, I get it, right? There's a big part of me. That's me too, right? But there's the people that are not for this, that are quote unquote on our side. I think we just need to ask some questions. This is what I would encourage you to ask the questions. Just, oh, well, what about the strategy? What about the principles? Do you think we need another accrediting body? If not, why? Are you happy with the results that we currently have as a profession with our utilization under 10% and the majority of those coming in for acute neck pain and back pain? Are you happy with that? And what strategy got us to this place? Because the strategy that got us to this place was trying to change the cartel from within. And that's exactly how we got to the place we're at today. And so I would encourage all of you, if you're hearing that from anyone out there, ask them about the objectives, ask them about the mission, ask them about the strategy, right? And that should answer most questions.
Also, Steve, a lot of times people are just thinking about themselves. Well, I have my license, I'm good. Well, here's the thing. Think 7 generations down the road. You got grandkids, are they going to be able to get what you're doing? Are they going to be able to receive a subluxation correction service? Because if we keep going in this direction, the profession is just going to keep shrinking and shrinking. Actually, I've been seeing some statistics that we are actually shrinking. There's not enough chiropractors coming in to the field to take over for the ones that are retiring or passing on, right? So, I mean, it's just a matter of time. This is urgent. So we're going to give you the details to contact the coalition right now. Steve, let everyone know, okay, we got Facebook, websites, where can we get in touch?
Yeah, so it's chiropracticfreedomcoalition.org. You can go there and hit the join button and fill out the form, right? That's an interest form. You'll be contacted by our onboarding team. We have multiple teams. There's always a place to get plugged in. People wonder, well, how can I support? How can I do this? Well, number one, all of us should be contributing financially, right? And it doesn't matter if it's $5 a month, $10 a month. We ask for a minimum of $50 a month, and none of that money the only paid position is an administrative assistant, right? I'm giving at least 10, 12 hours a week to this thing. I don't get paid a dime. You don't get paid. None of the leaders, none of the chiropractic leaders, the DCs get paid. The only paid position is administrative assistants, right? Now, and we have full transparency with the money, right? And we have monthly meetings. There's 2 monthly meetings per week, per month. So you can be on the meetings, see the financials, see everything, right? So if you can't give time, give money, right? And if your practice is successful, hey, you might be thinking, hey, things are great here. Like, that's great. Give more money, right? If you don't have the money right now, give time, right? And because we need liaisons in every single state. We're building that. We have a full organizational structure to put liaisons in each state to monitor state boards, show up at state board meetings, do all the things on that side. There's social media teams, which Dr. David, you run. There's a legal and regulatory team. There's a federal recognition team. There's always some place where you can get plugged in and support the movement and be part of something bigger than yourself. And when we're part of something bigger than ourselves, our practices grow. I know you've seen this, David, right? So So the chiropracticfreedomcoalition.org. You can also email info@chiropracticfreedom.org, or go DM us on our Instagram or Facebook page.
Yes, and we're going to have informational meetings coming right from January on, once a month.
Yeah,
Is that
we're gonna start doing monthly meetings as well. So that's another way to get plugged in. The key here, guys, if you're hearing this, I hope you're hearing a couple things. Subluxation focused chiropractic, the subluxation corrective service, our vitalistic philosophy are in grave danger of getting past another 2 generations, right? That's because if we can't teach it in our schools, where is it going to be taught? Right now, unfortunately, and this is sad, everyone should really think about this for a moment. Chiropractic, actual chiropractic is being taught in hotels. Just think about that for a minute. It- that's kind of sad, right? That it's not being taught in our schools, right? At Sherman College of Chiropractic, I can guarantee it's being taught there. However, the vast majority of chiropractic people have to learn chiropractic at seminars, and that's morally, wrong and sad for our profession, right? And that's not sustainable, especially when the licensing bodies are, going after subluxation focused chiropractors, right? And attacking them for, remember back during COVID when Dr. Bill Morgan of Parker University said that there's no evidence that chiropractic has a positive impact on the immune system, right? And you would be under the hand of the law, like if you do so, right?
Steve, there were chiropractors in Brazil, a WFC run country, giving vaccines in their practice. I mean, that was
Just
just
the fact that that's even a reality, right? And a possibility. And guys, just because it's not happening in your town, your neighborhood, your state, like it doesn't matter. Like if right, when we became chiropractors, we took an oath. And you have such critical information to the future of humanity. If you believe in the big idea that if every man, woman, and child was checked from birth out of lifetime, that we would have a massively different planet, and that you understand the neurophysiology of subluxation and what it does to a developing nervous system and how it changes the trajectory of a brain and puts people in a state of dis-ease, which eventually, long enough, leads to disease processes. If you understand that, then we have a moral obligation to ensure that this not only survives but thrives. So there is another branch of the Chiropractic Freedom Coalition that's not just about fighting and defending. There's a whole branch, right? We've started a nonprofit, right, to advance this message and mission to the public, right, to create the demand. Because we also have to create the demand for this thing, and our profession has done a really poor job at that, right? The only nonprofit organization out there has a mixed message. It's primarily neck pain and back pain. It's keeping us stuck in a musculoskeletal box. If you want to get our subluxation focused, nervous system focused, salutogenic message out to the public in a massive way, then join this movement. I really can't see any reason why anyone who understands those things I just mentioned would not be a part of this.
more clear could not be. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you in the next coalition meeting, hopefully, and bring others. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. See you soon.